Hey viewers, we're getting back to our 1984 Univega Superstrata here. See, now as far as we got here, we got, of course, our wheels built, derailleurs on, got the chain on, cassette, and of course got our brake calipers on, bottom bracket, shifters, handlebar stems. What we're going to do next is we're going to be wrapping the hand-sewn leather wrap. That's what the bike came with. This one also came with the hand leather wrap. I was trying to describe to you in one of our last videos how we want to maintain, the same line here. What some people do is they come around the front and they'll wrap it over on top so they can put the opening around the post. Then they come back around, either stay around the bottom or they curve it around and come back through the center here. I just think it looks better this way. And of course it's easier on your fingers to have the stitching in the front. We're going to go ahead and do it like this. And the first things we're going to do here is, of course, I already marked the back of the post here, the strap that goes around the handlebars, so we know where the positioning is. So we'll be taking off the body here first. It takes a 6mm. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll completely take the lever off the post. But again, here's the markings we made. And the leather that we use from a company called Velobitz. I get it on eBay. Nice little kit, comes with everything you need. Let's see if I can get this open here for you with one hand. Of course, has full instructions here. And you get 2 needles, which you need. You're going to use 2 needles to sew it with. And of course 2 straps, one for each side. What we have to do first is we're going to be soaking this for about 15-20 minutes in the water there. Then we'll damp it off. We'll leave that soaking there and get that timed, and we'll be back. Okay, viewers. I'm getting the thread ready here for the sewing. It comes in this little plastic holder here, and there's over 19 feet of this stuff. So what I do is I unwrap it all, fold it, and kind of put it in half, and then cut it, and use half of it for one side. And then you want to have a needle on each end. If you can, I don't know if you can see it there, but this is like a flat thread. What you want to do is thread this through first, and then pull what you need out this way, and then stick it through and pull it through. There we go. And then just pull it over. Pull this tight, and there you go. She's locked on. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. So we pull the leather out of there. We're gonna stretch it out here, pat it down, get most of the water off it. You want to leave a little bit in, but you don't want to get it dry. Okay, that should do it. I'll get the camera in place here and we'll start sewing. Okay, viewers, as you can see, we're starting to wrap around one end, and we're going to go through and get both sides even. You're pulling, you can't see what I'm doing back here, but I'm just trying to get both needles together and even. I'm going to go ahead and pull these together to hold it on. I'll pull it out. What I'm going to do is get one of the ends here. I'm going to pull it through a little bit further because we're going to wrap that round again. Pull it about that much further. Take that needle, wrap it through again. There we go. That's our first stitch through there. Now, as we go, we'll be positioning the strap here because you can see it slides around quite a bit, and we want to get it wrapped around as tight as we can. But right now, what we want to do is you always want to go in the same direction each time. So what we're going to do is take the bottom one, the one that's coming out of the bottom, and we're going to go under and up. And we'll kind of keep that out of the way of the other one. And go in the next hole. Okay, we got that snug. So when we do the next one, always go the same way. We're starting from the bottom and going up. So each time take the bottom one and go up. If you start mixing it up, the thread will come out funny and look kind of weird. So you don't want that. So I'm going to go in here, bottom up, and then we'll get this top one and we'll get that going down here. There you go. Okay, we're going to keep doing that. When I get around back to here, we'll go ahead and we'll start her up again. I just want to stop here a minute and show you, once you get going here, it'll kind of hold in place for you. Just pull it nice and snug. And as you go, you kind of have to push it back towards this area because it tends to pull a little bit. But once you start going down, get this down here, this will probably stay pretty good. And as you also go, you kind of want to press in, just make sure everything's nice and snug there as you go along. Kind of knead it in and kind of pull it back where it belongs over here. So it's a process going back and forth. And it gets a little easier to thread it as you go. Just remember to keep going in the same direction that you started. Either start from the bottom, go up on each one, or you can start at the top one, but just make sure you go to the same way every time. When I get back down here, we'll start her up again. Okay, just wanted to start it up again, just to show you how it gets a little bit easier as you go along. You're not like the first couple. So again, we start at the bottom, go up. You want to keep continuing to do that. And then pull that a little snug there. Pull that out of the way, off the back, down here. And pull her nice and snug. And just keep going around like that. Okay, just want to see where we've gotten so far. We've gotten around the corner here. Remember to go ahead and knead this, push it in as you come around. To the back side here. If I could see it, it's a little bit of wrinkle. It's kind of dark, I'm sorry. But when we get the brake lever post around here, that'll kind of smooth out in the back. So I'm going to mark this now because I've got the center. This thread is in the center where the post should go. So what we're going to do now is put a mark where we want to make a little cross cut. Right in the middle, right there. Okay, I'm going to have to put this down. I have to make a little cross cut there, and I'll show you when I'm done with that. Okay, I went ahead and loosened up the threads, and I had to tighten it down so I could see where it was going to fit over here. We cut the X in there with the razor blade, and then we slid this up, and you can see that we're just about there. We'll get that held in position as we tighten around that. And I went ahead and pushed the leather around the post there. So we'll go ahead and get this tightened up now and continue all the way around. Okay, so we got the post in, and I went ahead and screwed the lever on just to hold everything into place. And we got the thread pretty snug up around there. One thing I wanted to let you know is when you start coming around, of course, the bottom, now you're going to be going from the top to the bottom to keep the same lacing going. Just remember to do that and to keep it nice and snug, and we'll go ahead and get it finished up here. Okay, we got through the end here. as I went along, I, pinched it together. It was starting to separate a little bit. As it dries, it stretches, and it kind of holds on. As you see up here, in the beginning, we kept pushing this towards the center, but after a while, as it dries, it kind of wraps around. And then we pushed these in as we went around too, because they kind of bunched up a little bit around the turns. As we come around the bottom here, we did the same thing, and then kind of stretched this out as we come around the bottom. So looks like it came out pretty good. At the end here, we went 2 stitches beyond the end, and then at the end, when the 2 were sticking out this way, I looped them over and in, have them come out the inside, both of them. And what I'll do now is just tie a knot on that and probably cut it right about there where that hole is, and then stick it in. On the directions, they say to cut the end off, cut it off on the edge here. I just like to stick it in like I do regular bar tape. It looks a lot nicer when it wraps around the end, and I can show you on some of the other bikes here. Like here on the Super Special, it's wrapped around, and where the stitch is, it folds in really nice, so it looks better than just having it chopped off. And if it was chopped off there, you would see it, up here, because these bar ends didn't cover it really well. So anyway, I think it looks better that way. We'll go ahead and get that finished off there, and then take a picture of this side when it's done. Again, for a day or two, you want to keep watching this and making sure that it doesn't start pulling away. And if it does, just kind of knead it. And same here, if this is kind of stretches, just kind of squeeze it together, and then it'll eventually dry and hold on, which is holding really good there. So get that cut off in the end, and get the bar ends in there, and we'll get one more shot. Okay, so we got it all done here. Everything, you can see when it dries, it kind of stays into place there. And again, you might want to check it like every couple days just to make sure it hasn't stretched too much. It stayed together really well. As it dries, as you go, it kind of holds together there. Came out pretty nice. A little stretching, kind of like kneaded it as we go. You can see that right there, a little wrinkle, but sometimes it works itself out. And we got the bar end, those are the original bar ends, kind of cleaned them up. One side down, another one to go, and these handlebars are done. Okay, so we're getting ready to do the other side now. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and soak the other piece of leather here. We got this lukewarm water, and we'll soak that for 15 minutes and go ahead and start her. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get this out of here. Get some of the water out of there first. Spread this out and pat it dry. We want to keep it a little moist. And we'll go ahead and get it on the bike there. Okay. We're going to start to wrap it around now. We got both ends with the needles on it. Doesn't matter which way you put it through at this point. Pull that through, and I'll get it halfway. Going back here, trying to get the needles lined up here. Okay, we got those evened out. Pull it through a little tighter, and then what I'm going to do is pull. It doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to pull the bottom one out, about the length from here to there. A little more that way, because I'm going to loop this around. Pull that through, and then we'll get it as close as we can over here. Pull that snug, because it's going to loosen up as we go, but we'll tighten it as we go. And as we get farther out, it'll start to hold and stay into place. And then I want to make sure you have it even with the other side here. And then again, always start with the same side, either top or bottom. I'm going to start with the bottom here. Go up to the next hole. There we go. And then top down. It's good to have plenty of light on this. I'm going to pull it over and a little snug. There we go. And I'm going to have to keep pushing it over to the edge. And then again, make sure we're lined up. Here we are. And again, we'll start with the bottom. We'll come back down. It's a little trickier when you first start because you've got so much thread here. You got to get out of the way and then make sure you don't tangle up. So we're coming underneath this one here. And we'll tighten as we go. And then I've got to push it over again. And bottom up again. And we'll go back down. Okay, and then you see we gotta keep pushing it over there, get to the edge because we keep pulling it. And like I said, after a while, as we get over here, it'll start to hold there. We won't have to do this for the whole time sewing this. But push, kind of hold. There we go. Now I'll go ahead and stop this for now. And when I get further out here, because you get this gist here, we're going bottom up first all the time, and keep it the same way, or top down, however you start. And that's it. And we'll start it up again as we get a little farther down the handlebar here. Okay, just want to start it up again here to show you how, now that I've got this pushed over and I'm down here even this far, it's starting to hold here really well. It's not pulling away. So as you get further out, these will stay tightened and it will start to grab. Just keep on going and make sure you're lined, you're straight. We'll go ahead and continue here, and I'll start it up a little later down the line here. Okay, so we've gotten around here quite a bit, as you can see, and we're right here ready to mark and cut the hole for the post. As you can see here, middle's about right there, so I made the little mark right there in the middle. Go ahead and cut that there. Actually, I'm going to need two hands for this, so I'm going to have to put the camera down here for a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make a little cross check here. Make a hole right in the middle there first. Make a little X. I'm going to go push too hard because we'll go ahead and split the whole thing. A little bit more on the top here, a bit on the bottom. And I'll go ahead and see if we can get the post through there. May have to undo some threads here. I'm going to go ahead and undo a few more here so we can wrap it up some more and get it over that post. Okay, we were able to undo some more stitches here and get the wrap around the post. See how we pulled it around, kind of stretched it over. We'll be able to move this around a little bit even though we have it stitched. We'll get it centered right where we want it, but right now we've got it where we had it marked, and we'll continue on with the stitching. Okay, all wrapped up here. Got both sides done. And we'll just keep an eye on it in the next couple of days, make sure everything stays into place here, but looks pretty good. So that's it, and we'll see you for the next part.